Hey friends, it's Jennifer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm back with a video, gel printing, and I am using heavy gel medium today. So this is a technique that I saw over on, I believe, the Gelli Arts YouTube channel, and I believe it was Birgit Koopsen who had a similar technique she was doing, and I watched the video. I'm not following it exactly, but it did spark the idea for this. I'm using a Americana Premium heavy gel gloss medium, which is the only kind of gel medium that I had on hand, and so I decided to give it a try. And I'm using stencils here by Stencil Girl, and the paper is not the same kind of paper that Birgit was using. This is Dina Wakley Media heavy cotton rag paper. It's not the most ideal paper for this, but it's some extra paper I had in my stash, and I'm not a massive fan of the paper to be honest. I like it gessoed. I should correct that. I love it when I gesso it. I did not gesso it for this technique, so it's probably not the most ideal paper to use. However, I have a lot of it on hand. I think I won a large pack of it in a contest or something online, and so I have it on hand. It was quick and easy. So I've just put, as you have seen, a layer of the heavy gel gloss medium down straight onto the gel plate, put the stencil down, pulled the gel medium up, lifted the stencil, take another sheet of paper and pull what's left, and I'm using Distress Oxides, and you'll see later in the video also regular Distress ink to add some color. And if you go over to the Gelli Arts YouTube channel, you'll see Birgit's is slightly different. She uses a different kind of paper that allows her to then wipe away some of the ink. She's not using Distress ink. She's using, I think, a Spectrum Noir ink. But she's able to wipe away some of the ink. It creates a really beautiful effect that I'm not attempting here. However, the papers do turn out really pretty in the end. So you'll just see, once the gel medium is dried on each paper, I'm going through and applying Distress Oxide and or Distress ink, and just some pleasing color combinations, and blending the colors together, and I end up with some really beautiful papers in the end that you'll see in a future video when I come back and turn those papers into a little journal of sorts. So I'll just kick some music on and you can follow through. I've sped it up for brevity's sake, as it can get quite monotonous to sit and watch the same process over and over. But I'll kick some music up for you, and then I will also, as you have seen, I'll be popping up subtitles with the distress colors that I'm using on each one, and the stencil name and product number to make that easy for you for reference. I'm sure you have noticed that there is some paint and stuff that was left on the gel plate I'm using, and this, of course, the stencils, because I do not clean my stencils in between using them, whether it's various inks or paint techniques. I do not clean them off after. Due to that, you'll see there are little splotches on some of the sheets, more so on some than others, where it's leaving that little bits of texture behind, and in some spots quite large pieces of paint, of dried acrylic paint, off of the gel plate. And I'm not worried about that. I sort of like the additional texture that it gives. It gives a really interesting funky sort of grungy look in some spots, and I like that. So if you notice and wonder where that some of that color and texture is coming from, that is old paint and stuff off of the stencils and the gel plate itself. So if you don't like that, you can just make sure that your stencils and your gel plate are really clean after each use, but that's not something that I spend time doing. So I have 4 pieces of the cotton rag paper now that have been printed front and back. And I haven't quite yet decided if I'm going to fold them in half and do a simple sort of stitched binding of some kind, or if I'm going to cut them in half down the middle and do maybe an accordion style booklet, and then keep a few of the unused pieces for tip-ins and some fun little pop-up maybe techniques or something. But I think the papers in the end turned out really gorgeous. Like I said, I didn't follow Birgit's technique exactly, but it was a springboard for this, and I had the gloss gel medium anyway, and the gloss adds a really nice sheen that does not get picked up well on camera, but in person those light white sort of areas have a glossy sheen to them that is really gorgeous. I hope you'll try this technique. This is the most fun I've had with gel printing in a long time, and I didn't even have to bust out the paints. This was a low mess, easy, fun gel printing session. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel again. I really appreciate you guys. And if you haven't heard, I am now a teaching partner at Artful Academy, and my newest class, Scratching the Surface, is available at artfulacademy.com. You can also check me out on Instagram at Jennifer Gallagher Art. See you next time, guys.